go and invade their world, pull them out of the wild, and say, all right, now you need to adapt to my world. You know, and they do a doggone pretty good job of it. You say that God really designed them in such a way. Yeah, he's doing real well with this now. Try it a little bit more here on his backs. Getting a little bit nervous, getting a little bit better, a little bit better. And that's pretty darn good right there. And now, we'll go ahead and move on to the lunge whip. Alright, so today, it was the third tool. We started out with the rope, being real soft in our communication, creating a little bit of energy, and we went to the halter and the lead rope. And I just want to come in and rub them down with this a little bit. Tell them it's going to be okay, it's not going to hurt them. What a good boy. Right here in front. Watch out, because sometimes they'll pop up when you get in their front, because they can't see it. They don't see down there. They see all this stuff side to side real well, but they don't see down here. Oh, he got a little nervous there. I'll go ahead and keep this on until he realizes that it's not going to hurt him. Right there. There we go. Now I'll take it away. And I'll just go back up here to pet him some more. See how he is one more time down here by his belly. Oh, got a little jumpy. There. That's a lot better though. You didn't have to do a full lap that time. Just rub him down with it. Rub him down with it. Come back over here. How are you doing right there? Oh, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. There. Good boy. A lot better. A lot better. First time he had to go all the way around. The next time he went maybe quarter to a halfway around. The third time he only took a couple steps. This time he said, hey, that's all right. Again, we're teaching him, we're reprogramming his computer that just because something spooked him, he doesn't have to run. He doesn't have to react. He can think about it and just stand here and do nothing. Do something, do nothing. Again, you know, we're working on their natural characteristics that they're really kind of lazy. They'd rather just hang out in the field all day, eat some grass, maybe take a nap. When they're napping, they're just dreaming about sleeping or eating. You know, rarely do they, if ever, do they dream about, yeah, I sure can't wait till someone puts me in that jumping competition and I got to run my butt off and jump over 6-foot high jumps. They might do it because they do like the praise, and some horses just really like people, but I'm sure if they had their way, they'd just hang out in the herd and eat a lot of grass. What a good boy. All right, so he's handling that pretty good. So again, our third tool, and that was the third way that we used it. Now I'm asking him just to move off this pressure. Just tapping him real light. Saying just move there. Just want him to move his shoulder over, because I believe it's the horse's job to yield to us. It's not our job to yield to the horse. So if I ask him to step over, because I need to get on this side, because I need to deal with the saddle or something there, then he should move over for me. All right, so now I'm just gonna see how he handles a little bit of pressure. Again, I'm not asking him to move, I'm just slapping the ground. If he can't handle it, that's up to him. Where are you going? It's all right, we'll just set it back up. No big deal. He still thinks he needs to move. That was a little bit too much for him, so I'll just step over here and do it. Get him used to it over here. Slap the ground. Back over here. Slap it on this side of him. Maybe slap it on both sides. So he looks pretty good with it, and then I'm going to come back and do just how we're doing with the lead rope. Just tossing it over his back. Real soft. So there's no point to be whipping on these guys. And horses really have a tendency to start resenting that. And every time you give them a negative memory like that, they store it away. And I mean, I don't really think that horses are ever thinking about how they want to get even with you for the day that you smacked them on the butt. But they sure as heck might not trust you quite as much. So if I just tell him all the time, like, yeah, I know it's scary and it makes a lot of bad noises, but it's really nice and soft. It's just like your mama's tail when you're a little colt, you know, it just flops over you real gentle. Come back out here again. And already he picked it up there. That's no big thing. Get it on this side. And me personally, you know, I know a lot of people, they really like hot horses. You know, there's people out there in the performance world that they want those horses being quick and jumpy and really performing. And doggone it, I want my horses to be almost dull. Sure. Well, most of the clients that I train horses for too, that's what they want. They just want a nice, calm trail horse. They can walk, that they don't have to worry about them being antsy. So we do a lot of just teaching our horse to keep his feet still. I know a lot of people, they're out riding their horses, and if you meet them on the street, they can't even stop and have a conversation with you because their horse doesn't know how to keep their feet still. They think they gotta go, 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 go. So I wanna do a lot of teaching the horses. You know, you can just stand here, the whole world can blow up around you, and I promise it ain't gonna hurt you. But hopefully I've established enough trust with the horse that he's gonna believe me. What a good boy, what a good boy. Around his back legs a little bit more. Back legs. So now we got a horse that's really starting to think a lot more rather than react. The scary thing comes at him and he doesn't think he has to panic about it. And so again, regarding the passive body language and the do something and do nothing, the same tool that I can say, this doesn't mean anything, you don't have to go anywhere, it's okay, I can toss it around your back, toss it around your legs. I can then take this also, and now I'm saying do something. You know what, move that, move that, move that, there we go. And the moment he moves, I'm gonna take the pressure off, and then we can just go right back to rubbing him. So he's a little confused, he thinks, well, maybe I still have to move, and I'm like, no, now you don't. There's other cues, and he needs to learn what those cues are. You know, definitely body language. Now I'm just gonna point, give him the opportunity. That time I didn't have to touch him. There, being a little bit pushy. That's all right. That's normal for horses, they do that. Especially when they're new to everything. It's not a behavior that we want, and we'll fix it, we'll tune it up. But again, it doesn't all have to be perfect today. All right, good boy. So now we're going to introduce a couple more little things to, again, desensitize them to some of this stuff. Sometimes you'll be out on the trail, plastic bag will come blowing by and your horse freaks out about it. This is a piece of a t-shirt. I'd rather start with something that doesn't make a lot of noise. Horses are scared of things that move and make noises, so better that we don't send them off the edge at the beginning. So we'll just get something that moves, but it doesn't make a lot of noise. And again, we'll just move it around out here some. See if we can ask him to walk towards it. There we go. That he can actually walk towards this thing, and it's not a bad thing. There we go. And a lot of times, you know, if you're trying to introduce your horse to something, let's say you're introducing him to the saddle for the first time, the saddle pad, teaching him how to sack out, those things you want to give your horse the opportunity to smell and check out and be comfortable with. I don't want to do that with everything though, because sometimes things pop up that your horse isn't familiar with. That garbage bag that's, you know, blowing into the round pen, or that blows by when you're out on the trail. You know, he doesn't get a chance to know what that is, and so I don't want him to have a chance to know what this is either. I just want it to be something that popped up and now he has to deal with, that he has to think about and not react to. And doggone, that's pretty good right there. And he's still even thinking about it. What a good boy. So now I'll go ahead and take it away, create a little bit of energy out here. It makes a little bit of noise, but certainly not as much as your grocery store plastic bag will. I don't need to come in here and start touching him with it. At some point I will, probably not today. right now I just want him to know that things can happen around him, that he does not have to run, that he can keep his feet still. There we go, and it just like that. So that's okay, because now I'll just move on to the plastic bag. He was handling that so well. So that there, oh, he's getting a little bit nervous. That's okay, he can be nervous. Thinking I gotta move my feet, gotta move my feet. So now if he was tied up, we would have had a huge wreck right here. In a minute, he'll calm down, he'll realize he doesn't have to run. It's not after him. There we go. Pretty explosive though. You know, he something that he wasn't used to popped out and he reacted to it. So again, what creates the pressure? Is it the plastic bag? No. I mean, it's pressure, but not as much as when he starts panicking, not thinking, hits the end of that lead rope and halter, and the halter puts the pressure on his head. I didn't cause that to happen. He causes it to happen. Do the other side here. A lot better. And we'll go ahead and do one more. Then each time it's an escalation of intensity, but we're just building a foundation. And the first brick of that foundation is something soft and quiet that's mildly scary, that teaches him the principle of don't panic, just think about it. And the plastic bag's a little scarier. And this should be a little scarier still. And then more scary will become the tarp and the feed sack, as you saw earlier in the intro with Sundowner. And then the chainsaws and the guns. That's a lot better. A lot of movement on this. Not quite as noisy, but sure is a lot of movement. He's a little nervous, he's shaking, and that's fine. He can be nervous, he just has to know that he's responsible to control his emotions. And that if he just will stand still. And again, that's the reason why I don't want to touch him with these things, because at some point, I want him to think when you're riding him down the street, and the truck, the cement truck comes, and that big loud diesel engine is making all kinds of noise. I want him just to go, it's not going to touch me. I know it's not going to touch me. Versus saying, oh my gosh, that thing's going to kill me, and I got to get out of here. And now you're on the back of one wild ride. All right, there we go. So now we're gonna set it up to start teaching them how to tie. We'll go ahead and get that equipment set up and be right back. Let's go ahead and talk about the tools that we're gonna use to teach the horse how to tie. Both of these are tension devices. This is a tie ring that's made specifically for teaching your horse how to tie. And you can set different levels of tension on this, but it doesn't fix the horse to the object. If the horse does get scared, it can back off enough. It keeps tension on the horse. So again, it's that pressure and release. The horse puts pressure on, but the moment the horse stops fighting, he gets the release. The pressure is gone. A lot of places, they'll use bungee cords or inner tubes or something like that. The horse pulls back, and even after the horse stops fighting, that tension is still there trying to pull him back to the fence. We don't want to teach him that. We want to teach him your life only has as many pressures as you create, and the moment you stop creating those pressures, it goes away. So this is the tie ring. You should be able to get this at any tack store, and if not, go ahead and check us at the website. All the equipment that we use, we can help you out with. This other one is a figure eight device that rock climbers use. It's a figure eight device. They also use it for belaying and rappelling. You should be able to get this at any sporting goods store. And the way that these work, this one here, the rope will go through the big ring, hooks around the little ring, and then you hook the little ring you can tie it to a rope. I used to do some rock climbing, so I just use a normal carabiner here. And that sets it up, and now there's tension on this, not a lot, but enough that it sets up a certain amount of drag. So as the horse pulls, If I need to set another level of tension with this, I can just run it through the big loop one more time, bring it up and over again. And so now I have 2 lines going through here, and that just doubles the tension on it. It's quite a bit stronger here, but it'll give. All right, and this is the tie ring. And again, this was specifically designed for teaching horses how to tie. You can use these in the trailer, you can use them in your wash rack area, any place that you would tie your horse. These are great things to have, just primarily because they release so quickly. If you need to get in and get the horse out of a situation, again, if you use it in the trailer, the horse slips, he falls down, it'll give him that space that he needs on the rope, so he's not fixed fast to anything. And the way that this works, it looks like a snaffle bit cut in half. It's got this little piece that moves and a little piece that you can clip onto. And what happens is you put the rope through here, slide it around that, and now you have a drag. If you want to increase the tension on the drag, you just take your lead line, wrap it through one more time, and now it locks down and it sets another level of drag. So we'll just go ahead and clip this on. Bring up some slack on this horse. There we go. Now I'm just going to ask him to move a little bit to his side, that he can handle this. There we go. Horses are pretty claustrophobic, so they don't want to be real tight in towards that rail. I'm going to flip this over his butt, ask him to give to this, see if I can get him to move over. Move over. So already there he's pulling back. He's not sure what to do. Here we go. There. And I just want him to figure out that if he needs to relieve pressure, his options are to go side to side. He might choose that he wants to go back. He's allowed to do that. But the moment he does, he's going to feel tension on him. Go ahead and scoot over, bud. There you go. So this is the reason why we did all the work around his legs. Don't want him to push into that pressure. We want to get him off of it. Oh, that's all right. That kind of stuff is bound to happen. So he can go that way. So I want him to find out that there's limitations, but I don't want him to be fixed fast. I'm using a 25-foot line here so that he has a lot of room to go if he wants to go. And now he's finding out that he's tied up, and if I need to take the slack out, I can just pull his head back over there. And again, what's causing the pressure? I'm pressure, but he's really causing the pressure around his head. That's not me. Oh, that's all right. Where are you gonna go, buddy? We'll fix it. Said it's not hard. We just set it back up again. Pull this slack out of there. Pull him right back up to it. Right now, I don't need to hold that rope. So he went to right there, and the moment he stopped, the pressure stopped. We'll just set it back up. Up, up. There. So, and he only had to go back as far as he needed to get comfortable. Said he felt that pressure around his head. He thought that had something to do with it. And then when he stopped, all that pressure around his head went away. And I'll come in from time to time and reassure the horse. But what I really want him to know is that his only movement, again, is side to side. That's the way he's going to relieve pressure. It's just moving side to side. Back is not the answer. Side to side, that's a good way to go. There you go. And you know, I don't expect the horse to just stand over here and be calm. Not yet. You know, I mean, in his world, or in his mind, his whole world is blowing up around him right now. This isn't something that he knows how to do. And especially once we start increasing the pressure, it's going to be even tougher on him. But what I do want him to do is not react. I want him to think about it. It's okay that he's nervous. It's okay that, you know, when I'm going, but I want him to feel that pressure just like he did. He just felt that pressure on his head and got off of it and walked forward. That's the release, not back. That he has to think and go, you know what, I'm tied, I'm limited, I can only go this far one way, this far the other. So see, there, every time his head hits that now, he's already walking forward. He's already coming off of it. That's a good sign. I mean, that means that he's nervous, but he's still thinking. He's not just reacting and running through the halter. Move that, again. So I'm gonna start asking him, disengage that hindquarter, move over, move off of this pressure. There you go. So he doesn't know any of this, not real well, but he does need to know how to be able to tie. He does need to know how to be able to trail a little. Before we get all these pieces fixed to be able to ride him, because certainly we won't, you know, he doesn't know enough yet, but he might have an emergency. He might have to go to the vet for something where we need to be able to get him on that trailer and we need to be able to have him tied and be okay with that. So again, just side to side. That's the only way you can go. And that's normal too. Horses have a tendency to want to run into pressure. I was the pressure and he said, you know what? I'll just come run into you. That's all right, get off me. Get off me, there you go. So we'll just set it back up though. That's a lot better of a reaction. Do it on this side. So see, again, he went back to a point and said, I know that the release is to walk forward. And this will get better. And again, right now we're on the easiest setting, so it's just a little bit of drag and resistance. As he starts getting better, we'll tighten it down one more. Try the lunge whip now. It's a different experience because now he's tied up. Seems to be handling that okay. And I walk on this side. Sorry, buddy. Move your hindquarter over. There you go. Attaboy. This is all in his face right now. He's handling that pretty good. Not bad. Not bad for a wild horse. Again,